Okay, my name is Robert Newman, and I am a marketer. And Pam Dent and I have known each other for 10 years, and I've asked her to do a video that we're going to put onto her about page on her website. And we're really in her office. We're in the Gayle Harvey brokerage, and that may change. Pam's been a real estate agent long enough that that may at some point change. But what won't change is the concept that she's got an office. You're looking at her office, her desk, which she's rarely at because she's a busy realtor. Um, so, Pam, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and these questions are designed to let people that don't know you get to know you a little bit better, and not so much on the professional tip, but who you are as a person. So, how many years have you been a realtor here in Charlottesville?
I've been in real estate actively for 15 years.
Okay. And am I correct in saying that you've lived in Charlottesville for most of your life?
Yes, we came here when I was in the second grade, and except for 4 years of college, I've lived here all the rest of that time.
Okay, so you went off to college. Where did you go to school?
I went to Miami of Ohio, another area of rolling hills like this, and brick Georgian buildings. So I felt slightly at home, and that's probably the affinity I had when I chose the school.
All right, so you go to school. Like all people that go to college, you have a choice about career and where you're going to live. Why did you come back to Charlottesville?
Because of the quality of life. I realized that I loved horses and dogs and the outdoors, and it was a wonderful place to live that type of lifestyle. And it also, had other things. It wasn't. It had more culture than some of those rural areas do.
Right. So, which leads me to another question, which nobody would know. I know because I've known you for so long, but your love of animals actually, before you got into real estate, it kind of directed a big portion of your life, right?
Yeah, I sold horses professionally, somewhat like real estate to out-of-state clients, and they came in and we'd look at horses. And but also I trained and showed horses as well, and then for a hobby I showed dogs all over the country.
So like animals, love of animals, it's always been prevalent. And Charlottesville has played into that because this is great country to raise, breed horses, correct?
Yeah, it's horse country. There's a big equestrian scene here. There are a lot of horse people, and the countryside, the gently rolling hills lend itself to that quite well.
And one of your children has followed in your footsteps, if I'm not mistaken, right? She's also has a deep love and affinity for animals, has chosen to stay here in Charlottesville and is a professional equestrian, is that correct?
Yes, she does horses as a business. My other daughter, who is not local though, rides and shows as an amateur but has another job. So we've got, two that have followed in some way in my footsteps.
And if you had to say, so you've lived here and it's been a while, we won't put a number on it, but obviously you've been here for decades. What is one of your favorite memories, a personal memory of Charlottesville?
One of my favorite things, and this is very, very hyper-local, was one day as the snow was starting to fall, I'm looking out in the field that's in my front yard of my horse farm, and there is this huge, magnificent, big red fox, and he is playing with a mouse, and he is frolicking and leaping in the air, and there's this wonderful, rich red coat among the, gently falling snowflakes, and it was just magical.
That's certainly not something that we get from my part of the country. And then I asked you this question. I don't know that we actually discussed it, but I was asking if there was a particular, part of the city or the county that you liked a lot or that you visited a lot, which is really more, and I'm looking for more the personal thing, a restaurant, someplace that just speaks to you about being here in Charlottesville. I have those places where I'm from in Los Angeles that really speak to me about being in Los Angeles, and they keep me there when I'm away. I miss those places as part of my routine or my hobby. Do you have something like that here?
I sure do. Well, we're lucky to have a lot of restaurants. One of the neat things is there's a cool little eclectic restaurant down on the downtown mall called Bizou.
Mm-hmm.
It's a favorite of mine, and it also in the summer has tables outside on the mall. And it's fun to have dinner outside on a summer evening. And you look, there are people walking all over the mall, and many of them have dogs, and they have dogs under the terrace tables while they're eating, and it's just fun to have dinner, watch the people. Almost every time you're down there, there's somebody you know that walks by, will stop at your table and chat for a minute. It's just a lovely, relaxing thing to do.
As an outsider, we're going to close this video. Thank you for your help, Pam, but I will say, I'm just a voice. I'm not going to get on camera, but for those that are viewing this video, especially for those that might not be here, I have to admit you hear in the place I'm from, Los Angeles, this thing called Southern Charm. I don't know if I've seen charm, but I've seen a great amount of friendliness. I was out to lunch with Pam. We were wrapping up a video shoot, and she turned around, and I'd had a conversation with the gentleman, and she asked me, what were you talking about? And this man had walked by, made eye contact. He said, good afternoon or good morning, and I said the same, and he said, hey, are you coming from having lunch at Bell? And I said, as a matter of fact, I am. He's like, they have amazing coffee. Did you have their coffee? And I was like, yeah, I did. I actually had a to-go cup in my hand, which is probably what he saw. Anyway, the whole dialogue started with somebody I had never met, and Pam didn't even know. And anyway, it's a very friendly community. If you like talking to people, and I'm a little bit on the fence personally about that, but if you like talking to people and feeling part of something, this is definitely an interesting place to visit.